few spiritual seekers who go this far, I do see a lot who are getting stuck in the void. The void is this nothingness, this emptiness that we discover no self. That actually, beyond everything that we thought we were, we realize that there's actually nothing, no thing. That there's just simply this emptiness within us. This emptiness that's within everything. This absolute void. What happens is if we only come this far and we actually start identifying with this void, with this emptiness, we can easily get stuck here. That we feel completely empty in a more negative way. That we don't go any further on our journey and experience the fullness. That yes, there is emptiness. And it's out of this emptiness that there's the fullness. That this emptiness is not some empty void that is lacking life. But in fact, it is the full potential of life. Out of this emptiness arises the fullness. Out of this nothingness arises everything. So the spiritual seekers that get stuck in the void may have this belief, I've come this far, this is all there is, this is it. Some of the non-duality speakers, the circles of non-duality have some seekers that are really stuck in the void. And it's this kind of lifeless place to stop the journey. You can see it when they speak. It's very depressing. This void. It's like this depression. And what it's lacking is it's lacking the opposite. The fullness, which is the expression. So some speak of non-duality, this radical non-duality, and they speak from this place of the void. And you can see it when they speak, that there's this incompleteness, that there's this void, that there's this lifelessness, like something's missing. That there's this great sacrifice, like it wasn't worth it. This absence of fullness, it becomes very obvious. So if this is you, And you are experiencing this void. Don't camp here. The journey is to be continued. There's still further to go. And there is a lot of seekers, although there's few that come to this point, that are speaking from this point, sharing this void. And it's to have your discernment when watching these teachers or speakers speaking from this place, to have some clarity for yourself, to have this discernment that something feels off, something feels not quite right, that your heart is really telling you, this is not it. Because your heart knows the fullness. Your heart is full. And what's missing here from those that are speaking from this place of void is that fullness. That it's a paradox that can't be understood by the mind. That how can you experience emptiness and fullness simultaneously? But that's what it is. Yes, it is an emptiness, but it's also a fullness. Yes, it's nothing, but it's also everything. It's like it just hasn't flipped. There hasn't been further progression to see the other side of that coin, to see the flip side. So what's very common is, again, even though it's non-duality, there are speakers that are speaking from this place, creating this separation. That it's this, but not that. No, it's both. It's the wholeness. It's the unity of the two. The oneness. That there's this emptiness and fullness simultaneously. This nothingness and everythingness simultaneously. And that's the completeness, the wholeness, the totality. And unless there's further progress on the journey, unless there's more exploration of consciousness, then it will always feel like it's kind of half-baked, partial, not the full realization, not the full enlightenment. The full enlightenment is a fullness. It's, yes, you are this void, but it's the full potential of life that's being expressed. And you are both. That potential seed, as well as life itself. That the two are not separate. They're not different. They cannot be separated. They can only appear to be separated if you haven't realized the other side of the coin. But upon realizing the other side of the coin, then there's this integration. There's a holistic perspective. It's like you're not seeing it from just the one side. Those who are stuck in the void, it's like they're seeing just one side of the coin from that side of the coin. It's like being on an island and only seeing the one side of the island. Which requires continuing the journey to the other side, to then see, oh wow, there's another side and it's completely different. And then with that integration, with that perspective of the two sides of the island, you're seeing that they're not separate from each other. It's as if the awareness becomes more holistic, where you're able to see how both are interconnected, interdependent, and are existing both in you, as you. That the two are one. It's like they're just different aspects of the one universal consciousness. So be careful. Have that clarity. Have that discernment. Listen to your heart. If your heart is saying that there's something off here, this can't be it, feels incomplete, you're right. Because there's more to go. Got to go further on the journey. It's like that should be a reminder at all times. Go further. Go further. Go further. It's so easy to get to a new stage in this journey and think that's it. And quickly that can become a belief. And just like all these kind of beliefs, when one is speaking from this belief, from this stage of the journey, it's really easy for this one to stick a flag and say, this is the top, or this is it. And for the other seekers to then simply believe that this is it. Oh, okay, thanks for telling me it's the top. But when something in you feels like it's not right, really? This is the top? This seems like I'm absent from life. This seems more like I'm sitting on the sidelines. This seems like I'm just watching everything. No, full enlightenment is a full participation in life, as life. It's a full involvement. It's actualizing your full potential. It allows a full expression of the individuated form. It's a full embodiment of truth. what I call living truth. When you get stuck in the void, it's kind of like you're sitting on the sidelines. That's why it kind of feels like people who are speaking from this place, they kind of have this depressed look to them, a sad look. There's this kind of energy that feels like it's depressed, it's not expressed. It's in the void. So it's up to you to then follow your heart. Okay, well, let me keep going. I'm not just going to simply agree with what this person's saying. Just because they're saying this is as far as they've gone, it doesn't mean that's as far as you have to go. A speaker, a teacher, a guide can only take you as far as they have gone. And when your heart is telling you there's more to go, there's something further to go, then it's time that you find a new guide, someone who can take you further, or you blaze your own trail. But a lot of these videos of speakers speaking from this void, making enlightenment feel like it's flat, dull, dry. It's not it. Enlightenment is juicy. It's not dry. It's juicy. It's the totality of life. It's that yin and yang together, but as the whole. It's seeing life as the whole, where there's the play of the two energies. There's the play of the two aspects. The formless that's in the form and the form that's in the formless. That the play of life continues. It's as if you peek behind the curtain, realize there's nothing there, it's just empty. The play's just happening. That there's this nothing appearing as everything, yes. But then once there's the going behind the curtains, pulling the curtains back and looking there, one doesn't simply stay behind the curtain and miss out on the play of life. That's what being stuck in the void is. It's like you're behind the curtains of the play of life. That's not enlightenment. It's like that's the halfway mark. You pull back the curtains, you see, there's nothing there. There's no self. But you don't get stuck there. There's the mystery of how is this all going, and there's coming back out on stage. There's a feeling of picking up the costume, putting it back on, or putting on any other costume that you want to put on. Because you realize your freedom. There's a full expression of the person, a full actualization of the natural gifts and skills and qualities of that conditioned character to then be actualized without any suppression, without any repression, without any fear. The freedom to simply be yourself, unconditionally free. To be that living truth, the embodiment of truth. To embody your true nature, the fullness, the completeness, the wholeness. and to live with that understanding. That unity that underlies all the forms that are standing on top of it. All actions are then informed. All of your actions are informed by that understanding. All other characters are other aspects of yourself. You only see yourself. It's more like living life at 200%. Or you could say 100% if you're saying that you only lived 50% prior to pulling back the curtains. There's this re-entering the world. On the hero's journey, there's a discovering the treasure. And then there's the re-entering the world. There's this integration phase that integrates that new understanding, that integrates the realization. And then it's like coming back to the play, coming back to the dream, coming back to the ordinary world, but you're completely transformed. The character is completely transformed. It doesn't look different. It doesn't appear to be different, but it's completely transformed. And with this integration, the actions, thoughts, and feelings are all aligned with that realization that you discovered. And it's that integration of all the different aspects. It's the remembering, not remembering as memory, membering all the members, all the different aspects of you that are now integrated as this whole. That then life is so complete, so total, so full, that you are everything. There is only you. And there's just this unconditional expression, a fullness in every moment. Every moment is complete as it is.